And according to the icon, we are now live. Welcome to the start of what I hope to be a fantastic campaign with 4 victims that I've managed to pull together on the Wizards of the Coast package, Storm King's Thunder. So I've created a channel for this, Dougie and Dragons on YouTube. Links will be at the bottom of the video on completion. So let me start by introducing the team that are going to make this a fantastic campaign. So starting from left to right, Craig, can you introduce yourself and your character, please?
Hello, my name is Craig. Today I shall be mostly playing a character called Ravander Lakath, a dragonborn warlock from the city of Thymantha in the far west of the Forgotten Realms. What else would you like to know?
Anything you want to reveal?
My time in the capital city was spent in the City Watch, in the magical cohorts, but after the war with Unther, we were very ill prepared. So I've left to try and find more knowledge. And that's all for now.
Thank you very much, Craig. Ollie, please introduce yourself and your character.
Hi there.
Okay, I think Ollie's having connection issues at the moment. While he sorts that out, Royston, please introduce yourself and your character.
Hi, I'm Royston. I'm playing a young paladin called Luth, who's the second son of a noble family, minor noble family, but one with great aspirations. Unfortunately, he's disgraced himself with his family and now finds himself on the road. Fortunately, traveling with Wrath, who's just introduced himself. Wrath seems to know his way around the place, which is to Luth's benefit, but also he has a secret respect for Wrath, who seems to him to be the sort of character that Luth was supposed to have been, but didn't turn out to be.
Interesting. Thank you very much indeed. Ollie, you seem to be stable. Welcome back. Please introduce yourself and your character, mate.
Hi there. Okay, take 2. So I'm Ollie, and I'll be playing the character of Fingers, who is a forest gnome rogue for this campaign, this adventure. So I'll tell you a bit about Fingers. Fingers is the son of a long line of toy makers from the far forests. As a young gnome, not content with his lot in life, he would often be found wandering in the forest. This misadventure one day cost him his fingers in a failed attempt to steal some valuable eggs. The mother of the eggs caught him in a conflict and bit off 3 of his fingers. This didn't put him off of his tricksy ways for long, however. He was soon out again, relieving locals of their knickknacks and valuables. As pickings grew thin in the small community, he found himself drawn to the city and hit the big time for a while with the various black market guilds. Debt and his short temper soon ruined the status quo, so he now finds himself a wanted gnome, in need of cash and tough friends to clear his debt and restore his reputation. So he's currently in the King's Wood, trying to hunt some fur. He's heard the creatures around here, the fur goes for quite a bit of money. So he's in a way hiding in the woods and also trying to collect a little bit of fur in the hope he can raise enough money to clear his name and get him out of trouble.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And finally, but not leastly, Dave, please introduce yourself and your character.
Okay, well, it is least after that description. I haven't prepared anything like that. So, yeah. So basically, I am playing, well, I'm Dave. I'm playing Tamon Falone, or Falor. I can't remember what I said. I think it's Falor. Can't read my own writing. He is an aged wizard. He's human, and he's an ex-professor, and he's recently found that he is bored of life behind the books, so he's decided to take his nose out of them and go out and actually see the world that he's been studying for most of his life. And that's where we find him.
And thank you very much indeed. So, you go. So Ravenluth, you are walking a dusty but well-trodden path. The storm has recently ended. Your cloaks are dripping. You are wet and cold. Let's begin with a nice observation roll.
Tell me about the observation roll then.
Okay, so the majority of rolls are D20.
Yep.
And so you make the roll, add your observation skill from your character sheet, and tell me what you got.
Is observation perception, yeah?
Yeah, effectively.
Cool.
Okay, just an 11.
I have the wonderful score of 6.
6. Okay, 11's enough. So just up ahead, you spot a signpost next to the trail that you've been heading on. There are 3 shaped arrows on the signpost. 2 marked Waterdeep and Daggerford, which point towards the high road, carrying on. You're tired, you're wet, you don't feel like taking that road. But a 3rd indicates Nightstone. And if memory serves, that's a place of respite, a place where many of the guards used to go before they hunted the forest for fine pelts and values, effectively.
Wrath, I'm tired of this weather. It's been too long now. The rain's got right down the back of my neck. I'm soaked through, and I'd like to get indoors for a bit. What do you say we find somewhere where we can shelter and get a good meal inside us?
Somewhere with a nice fire would be good. It's a little bit cold for my taste.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking too. Where's the best place to head for, do you think? You know these lands better than I do.
Oh, let's head for the nearest. We'll go that way.
Fingers, as you sit there just dozing off, you hear a voice just past the brush line where you've been sleeping and camping. Clearly, they are 2 males.
Oh, I'd like to sort of sneak up a little bit and just get a closer look at them and see who they are, see if I can work out what they're doing.
Yeah, sure. Make a stealth roll, please.
We have 13.
Okay, can Luff and Rav make a perception roll?
13.
11.
Okay, you match it. That's good enough. Luff, you hear only just hear a rustling in the leaves, a bit bigger than what you make to be a small animal. Rav's oblivious, not a thing.
Hold on, Wrath. Hold on. Did you just hear something over there on the left? I'm sure I did.
I didn't hear anything, but I'll reach for my staff, noticing that something's obviously been heard.
It'd be just our luck now to run into something unpleasant just as we're getting close to our fire and our food. So I'm just going to check it out.
Fingers, what are you going to do?
So as they walk closer, I'll come out of the bush. So, keep the noise down. Gnome in peace.
Look who it is. What's your name, friend?
Never mind my name. You're the one who's woke me up. Who are you?
Well, you can call me Luth. That's all you need to know. This is my friend Wrath.
Don't say much, does he?
No. I don't know you and you don't know me.
I'm guessing
you
you're
can call me
around.
Fingers. You
Yeah,
can
I'm
call me
guessing you're
Fingers.
from
You might
around
have heard of
here.
me. What gave you that idea?
I'm guessing your little legs don't take you very far from your home.
Oh, you're a confident one, aren't you? Well, so what are you doing out in this weather?
Looking for somewhere warm.
Well,
No.
I don't really like many people, but you seem all right. I've got a warm fire over here.
You got a warm fire?
Yeah.
Under a bush.
Well, I'm only little.
Okay, while you guys are making conversation and acquainting yourself, you do spot another figure heading south from the North Road, and Tamon comes into view.
Okay.
Bloody hell, it's busy here tonight, isn't it? Crikey, I'm just trying to get some rest. Is he with you?
I thought he was a friend of yours.
Does he look like me? Come on.
No, but that would assume that you had no friends at all then, wouldn't it?
Oh well. If he was a gnome, you wouldn't have seen him coming. That's what I'll tell you.
Good evening, everybody. Do you mind if I join you by your fire?
Oh, it's a fire built for one gnome, and now there's three of you buggers here.
And who might you be, sir?
I'm Tamon Falor. Yes, I'm a wizard from that way somewhere, and I don't really know. I wandered one way and found myself on this path. So yes.
I hope you're studying magic's better than you study geography.
Well, that's why I'm out here.
Now,
Okay,
lost.
so
now, Fallon, tell me, there's no one else behind you, is there?
Not that I'm aware of. Do you know something I don't?
Well, no, it's just I was here on my own a minute ago, and now there's three of you.
okay, so as Tamon joins the group and starts chatting, he picks up on something that the rest of you haven't really picked up on yet, in that there is a bell ringing, very faint in the distance, off towards Nightstone.
I suppose you guys also have a ringing in your ears, do you?
A ringing in my ears.
No. Why do you say that?
Yeah, well, and I put my finger into my ear and give it a good wiggle. No, there's definitely a bell ringing somewhere. Has anybody have we got anything that they shouldn't have?
Well, if anyone asks, you ain't seen me. That's all I'm going to say.
Right.
See, this is what happens when you dabble with magic.
Excuse me, I don't dabble. Dabble?
Well, you've ended up with a ringing in your ears.
What sort of general direction is this ringing coming from? Is it from where you've just turned up from, or I can't hear it? So point which way it's coming from, will you?
I point in the general direction of where of the place that it's coming from. I can't
Nightstone.
actually remember. Nightstone. Thank you. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah, Nightstone's to the east of the sign that you've met at, and there is a nice quaint little trail leading on. Now,
Okay.
you've been here a couple of days, Fingers, and most evenings the lights around the sign get lit by the local town, by Nightstone residents. This hasn't happened tonight.
Did you guys notice anybody while you were wandering around? Normally, them lights over there are lit, but seems a bit queer. They're not today.
They're usually lit, you say?
Usually, yeah. Do they usually ring a bell as well?
I've only just arrived here, and to be honest, I haven't been outside of my study for the past God knows how many years, so I don't really know about the outside world. So carry on.
In our defence, we walked straight past the gnome and were followed by a wizard, so I don't think we'd have noticed much in this weather.
Well, there's a bell ringing and no lights on, so I'm thinking not everything is as it should be tonight. This weather in particular. I'm getting quite wet standing here talking to you.
Why don't we try and find a place with a roof over our head? Because even if we've got a fire here, when the heavens open, which they'll surely do, we're only going to get drenched again. So I say we head into Nightstone. I say we find somewhere with a warm fire and a roof over our heads. And maybe if they need some help lighting these fires that nobody else has lit, then who knows, maybe we can just give them a hand.
Well, I've not got enough wood for you three as well, so I reckon you owe me half a pint. I agree.
Can you cope with half a pint?
Well, I'll go easy.
I like him.
Okay, so the party get together and they make their way up the path, heading towards Nightstone. Now, as you get near to Nightstone, the bell gets louder, and it clearly is coming from Nightstone as a village. The village itself is contained inside a wooden palisade, and within which you see a windmill, a tall steeple, and several high-pitched rooftops and other buildings. What's weird is, apart from the ringing of the bell, there appears to be no other activity in the village. The trail ends before a lowered drawbridge that spans the moat, and beyond the drawbridge, 2 stone watchtowers flank an open gap in the palisade.
But they don't appear to be manned.
Do not appear to be manned.
And I'm
At
guessing
this point, I think my City Watch stuff would kick in a little bit, and I'd be stopping the party. Can I do a investigation check to see if there's any signs of a disturbance or anything?
You can do an investigation check, certainly.
Thank you.
Just while he does that, I don't want to interrupt anything, but I've got the live feed open and it's stuck on my screen. It's only showing me, and that's a bit disconcerting.
That's because you have probably clicked on your. There we go.
No, it's
Should be good now.
okay.
That's better.
There we go. Cool.
Sorry.
I
Okay.
was just watching myself, you know.
I rolled a 16 on the investigation.
Oh, with your background, that's plenty enough. This is totally not normal. You'd expect a skeleton force maybe at night, but still you'd expect to see activity. And with a roll that good as well, you also make out footprints heading off the drawbridge and going north.
Out of the town.
Out of the town.
I put my hand up and stop everybody and finger to the mouth, go, shh. There's footprints on the floor. A town of this size should at least have guards on the towers, if nothing else. There's no noise apart from the bell. Something's happened.
From your position just off the drawbridge, you can see a slightly raised hill within the palisade, on which stands a keep. A bridge connects the keep to the rest of the village, apart from the fact that the middle section of that bridge has been smashed apart and partially collapsed.
This doesn't look good, does it? But somebody is ringing that bell, and they're ringing it because they want help.
Well, they're ringing to draw people in.
How light is it here? Like, what type of like light sources are there?
Other than the lights you're carrying, it's fairly dark. It's nighttime.
Okay, so obviously people with dark vision and things like that are going to see a lot further than I can.
So I'm assuming there's no lights on in the village, no flames, no.
Not that you can see.
No.
Can I have another look at those footprints? Are they sort of footprints of an entire town, or are they just a few people, or what?
Okay, can you make a survival roll for me?
Yeah. Survival 15.
Okay, just enough. So you spot what you believe to be significant quantities of human footprints moving north. followed by slightly smaller humanoid footprints and what appears to be large dog prints as well.
All heading out of the town.
All heading out the town and going north.
Okay. Right. Okay, lads, I've got an idea. Seems to me that everyone in the town has left and there's a keep there, and in keeps is normally treasure. Why don't we sneak in and fill our pockets while there's no one around?
An interesting idea, but a town doesn't normally leave of its own.
And I would have
Somebody
to
usually
say,
makes them.
I would have to say that I'm actually a rather respected member of an educational community, so I don't think I'd like to partake. Thank you.
Well, in fairness, education is just stealing somebody else's ideas.
I would agree.
Maybe you can check the library and I'll just go and check the treasure room.
Oh, good. There's a library. Right, I'll go. And I walk off.
Okay, so
Bound to be booked somewhere.
At this
You
point,
make-
Rav's just sort of got his hand on his head going, why?
Hold on, Tamon. Tamon, I think
Yes?
I think you ought to stay with us just for the moment. The library's not going to go anywhere, and it's probably best if you don't either. We don't know what's going on here, and Wrath, I can tell that he's a bit unnerved by what he's seen in the ground here. Let's just check this out first, then you can go and visit the library.
Well, fine.
And we need an extra pair of eyes to keep on this little guy here who seems to be hell bent on stealing everything he can find.
No, not stealing. Keep him safe. I wouldn't want anyone, undesirable to take it. I'll just look after it for a bit.
Yeah.
okay, so as a party, then you're making your way into the town.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you cross the drawbridge, you cross the moat. You look ahead and you see and a couple of buildings to the left, a couple of buildings to the right, and a big square in the middle of the town that you notice seems to have a hole in the middle of it. Kind of like something that was there isn't anymore.
All right. Does the town itself look like it's been ravaged or plundered or just suddenly deserted?
Make an investigation roll.
8.
You really can't tell. It looks messy, but you're not sure. I don't know if anyone else is interested.
It's not at all clear what's happened here, guys. Not to me, anyway.
In fact,
Well, I've got
everyone else make an investigation roll.
Okay. Oh, 15. 18. I'm a city gnome.
12.
Taman?
Sorry, I muted my microphone. It's 12.
Okay, anyone who got above 10 spots enough to notice there are largish boulders scattered throughout the area you can see. And you also see signs of roofs that have been smashed through as well.
Seems to me there's been one hell of a hailstorm around here.
This looks like the city was attacked.
By giant rocks.
I'd be more worried about what threw the giant rocks. But yes.
Can I use would I with me having a decent amount of book knowledge, I'm being a bit of a bookworm, would I be able to draw on some of that to see if this matches anything I might have read about, any significant signs, if that makes sense?
What are you thinking of?
Well, I'm just seeing if I've read a fair bit, so I'm thinking maybe trying to determine what type of creature or something like that might have.
Okay,
been
go
here.
for it. Intelligence.
What do you want? Intelligence, yep. Just a standard intelligence roll, yeah.
Standard intelligence roll.
14.
Okay. You are aware of trolls that could throw things this far, giants. Dragons would have the ability to drop things from the sky. Human siege weapons could achieve the same result.
Okay. So I'm going to turn to the others and say, well, I have several theories on what might have done this. There's the possibility of trolls, there's giants, there's siege weapons, things like that. My bet and my great hope is that it's actually dragons. I quite like to meet a dragon.
I'd like to see a dragon.
I'll sort of just pull my hood up a little bit. There's not enough damage to the human siege weapons. That takes a full army to bring those, and there's no real evidence of an army coming through here. Dragons, there's not enough destruction. Trolls or giants sounds a good bet.
I think maybe we should have a look around. There's bound to be some old duffer that didn't manage to escape. Might be able to tell us something.
Okay, so as you start heading into the town, you spot a significant number of buildings. Some to your left, some to your right. As you get a look around the palisade as well, you also spot various towers dotted around the building.
Is there a jail anywhere?
Would you know what a jail looked like from the outside?
From my background, yes, I would. It's one of the features in the Skag.
Okay. Looking around, you don't appear to see one.
Jails are always a good place to look. Nobody ever remembers to release the prisoners.
Is the bell still
Such a
ringing?
shame.
Oh, the bell's ding-a-ling-a-linging.
Let's find out who's ringing that bell.
That's a good idea. I like that idea.
Mm.
Presumably, we can tell the rough direction of the bell now we're this close.
Yeah, let's head towards the ringing.
Yes, you can. And it is there. Yes, so there is a there is a temple. That is just conveniently just to the left of the drawbridge. So the first building on your left is a 2-storied temple.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the ringing appears to be coming from.
Oh, not appears to be. It is.
Okay. Well, let's go and see who's making that blooming racket then, shall we?
Yeah, let's be careful though, because they're likely to be
After you.
scared.
Okay.
Okay, so the wooden temple then, if anyone is of a religious orientation, is dedicated to Lathander, who is the god of dawn, and Malaki, who's the goddess of forests. It is a 2-story building with a steeple, and you can't quite see the bell in the top because it's too dark. There are plenty of stained glass windows depicting images of birth and the dawn of time. The front door to the temple is wide open.
Okay.
Is it appropriate to bear weapons in such a temple normally, or is it customary to enter unarmed?
Given the circumstances, I think the gods will forgive us.
I'd still like to know.
I'm only a GM. I'm not a god.
Okay. In the absence of any reason to the contrary, Luth will ensure that he has his sword in his hand and then cautiously enter the temple.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and follow.
And Luth will call out as he does so. He's not trying to be stealthy here. He's assuming that somebody is ringing the bell to attract his attention. So he calls out, "Hello!"
Okay, so as you enter the first area of the temple, you see moonlight shining in through the stained glass window, creating a beautiful speckled effect as you look around. The Beneath the windows are wooden benches, obviously sat for the elderly and the infirm so they can pray. The room is mostly empty. Against the back walls, a wooden pulpit with some stairs leading up. And the floor of the temple is hard-packed dirt. Set in the west wall, just north of the pulpit, is a half-open door.
Step towards the door. Push it open, and call in again. Hello.
Okay, so as you enter the room, the bell stops ringing.
Oh.
And from the sky, or from above you, descends 2 goblins with weapons drawn ready. Please roll for initiative.
Hmm. Do you want us to just come out and say it, or do you want us to do it in an order, or what?
No, if you can type your initiatives in the chat bar.
I can, yeah.
So
find the chat bar.
So top left,
sorry,
see
got
the
it.
blue speech icons. That'll open it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So, as I said, I'm a novice at this, so initiative roll is a d20
Plus your dex modifier.
plus dex.
Yep.
Not very impressive.
It's so nice to be playing with actual dice in a character sheet instead of like
Yeah.
20.
I actually printed mine off just so I could get the feel of having a real character sheet.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I've got my PDF open as well because I can't really read pencil with the light that I've got, but it's nice having the sheet here.
It's too difficult with PDFs and casters, I find, having to flick between different sheets.
Yeah. Well, with where I live, like I'm like up in the Welsh Hills, so I can't find anywhere to play a live game. So this is as close as I think I'm going to get.
Yeah. So the goblins descend, and they have short bows with them. And as Luth was very kind enough to walk through the door first, they are the ones he's going to attack. So your first attack is a 13, which misses. So it pings to the wall just by your head. And their second attack is a 19.
Oh.
Which does meet your AC. It only hits you for 2 points of damage, though.
Okay.
So the second arrow just grazes past your shoulder. Nice scar. And yeah, they start yapping and chanting in a language you're not quite sure of. So,
Obviously, Luth would call out in case the comrades behind him haven't or aren't aware of what's happening. He'll scream out, "Goblins!" and step backwards.
okay. Taman.
Yes. Right, just correct me if I'm wrong, but I can only say if I use one of my level 1 spells, I can only use it once until I've taken a rest, can't I?
Depends how many spell slots you got, doesn't it?
Yes.
Oh, 3. So I could use the same spell 3 times, can't I?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a while since I've played a spellcaster, so
That's cool.
I can never remember the ins and outs of it. Right. In that case, then magic missile, because why not?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, Magic Missile's changed a little bit from when Royston played. So instead of being a single dart that expands as you level up, Magic Missile is a flat 3 darts of D4 plus 1 per dart on any target you want.
Okay, so I have 3d4 here. I will go for which goblin is closer to me? Which
They both drop down about the same, so they're evenly spaced.
sure. And I can't split which like darts to either one.
You can choose the targets.
In that case, then I will send 2 at goblin number 1 and 1 at number 2.
Fantastic.
And it's an auto hit, isn't it? It's magic
Yeah, as
missile.
long as you can see them.
I can. So I've got 2 blue dice. So that'll be for goblin number 1, and that is 3. So one of them is 3, so that's a 4, and then one of them is a 1, so that's 2. So it's 6 damage to him.
Okay, smacks him straight in the chest, but he's still standing. He
And-
doesn't look very well.
And the second one is a 4 + 1, so that is a 5.
And again, that 2 strikes him across the waist, and again, he's looking pretty beat up already.
I may be a bookworm, but I'm a bit of a badass bookworm.
Throw your books at him. Excellent. So, Rav.
I'll have my quarterstaff in hand already.
Yep.
But I will. What's the packing order at the moment? Luth was in front.
You're all sort of behind him in a semicircle, so you can all see through.
So we've all got like clear line of sight and stuff. I'll have my quarterstaff in one hand, and with the other, I will use my Eldritch Blast,
Ooh, nice.
which is a cantrip, so I can use it as many times as I want.
Yep.
120-inch range, 120-inch foot
D10
range.
damage.
So D20 to hit is 11 plus my modifiers, is it?
Yep.
So 16 to hit.
You got +5, have you?
Because
Yeah,
it's
you would do.
your...
Yeah, 16 does hit.
Okay, what's the damage dice? 1d10 force damage. That would be that one. Yeah, 2.
Is that on which one?
On the first one, the front one.
Okay, so as this jet of heat strikes the goblin, it just totally encompasses him, and he just hits the floor, smouldering and smoking.
Wow.
Scratch one goblin. Fingers, you've just seen 2 magic users just rip the goblins apart, and one's still standing there, looking pretty bricking at the moment.
Pretty battered. Okay, they're all down from the ropes. I take it all on ground level.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to stroll casually up to him, put my hand out as if to shake his hand. Then I'm going to see if I can sort of stab him on the sly. So let me give you a roll. So 17, 23 altogether.
23 does hit, funnily enough.
Okay, so that's just a short sword. 1d6 + 3, so 6. And then can I make my offhand attack with my other short sword?
As the short sword goes through his chest, it erupts out his back. And you get the feel that he's literally being held up by the fact that your sword has gone straight through him.
Beautiful. I shall blow him a little kiss as he slithers off the end of the sword onto the floor.
Oh,
Okay, so hits the floor, sack of dirt, blood all the way down your blade. Not what you were expecting tonight. But the bells stopped ringing.
Whew.
Well, this isn't good, is it?
Quiet.
I smell an ambush, if I'm totally honest.
Now,
Oh, yes.
So the room you're
Strange
in,
they're ringing the bell.
yeah, well, you're not sure why now, and you're not likely to find out. So the room you're
Let's
in
hope they're not calling
contains,
their base. Yeah.
contains a plain wooden bed, which you think belongs to the village acolyte. The mattress has been torn apart, the straw's all over the place, and the floor is strewn with contents of 2 wooden chests. Priestly vestments, worthless personal effects. And you think that the 2 goblins who were named Bedo and Vark had tore the place apart looking for valuables.
So, they weren't ringing for help, or were they?
You'll never know.
Well, if they've seen us coming, maybe they were ringing to warn others of their kind.
Can I go and search the bodies and see if they've got any orders or anything of value?
You can do a general search of the room, yeah.
Okay. Would you want it as a perception?
It's an investigation roll. So you're actively...
17.
Okay. So, you don't find much of value, but you do find a 2 sacks, goblin-sized sacks, in the corner.
What would be in these sacks, I wonder?
Okay, so the first sack you check has got 3 blocks of incense inside that you think are worth about 5 gold each.
That's a big block of incense.
A silver holy symbol of Milakai, shaped like a unicorn's head, which is worth about 25 gold pieces. And other sort of stolen and worthless personal effects that ain't worth anything.
How many blocks of incense was there, sorry?
3.
Cool. I'll dish them out. Equally, I'm not particularly interested in the monetary value of it, personally.
I know a gnome that will probably jump on that silver unicorn head.
That silver rocking horse thing you got there looks pretty good. Hold on, I'll just look after it for a little while. Just make sure it's
I
safe.
assume it's like small enough to hold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll toss it towards him.
I won't make you
Thank
do a
you
deck
kindly.
save for that. Okay, the second sack contains 3 empty vials that you have no doubt about whatsoever did contain holy water. They've been consumed. And there is also a poor box. So where the church asks for donations from the local residents and stuff, they've taken that poor box, and it is currently unlocked.
I'll just look at fingers as though I'm not stealing from the church.
Well, I'm happy with this pretty horse for a minute, I suppose. Find out if there's any more goblins around here. I doubt if there's just 2.
No. They wanted someone to hear that bell, and if it wasn't us, then it's likely to be their own kind.
I agree. Let's go up on the wall and see what we can see. That would be what I suggest.
Yeah.
You might have to lift
Steeple
me up,
would probably have a higher advantage.
Yeah.
What about from the
Might
top
need-
of this? What about from the top of this temple? It's 2 stories, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, let's get to a high point and see what we can see.
Yeah, I think we should go upstairs.
Okay, so you climb the spiral staircase that runs around the inside of the steeple, and you get to a ledge on the top where there is a huge bronze bell, and it's been well rung, as you know.
Are there any windows or in this spire?
There are 4 slits on each corner facing north, south, east, and west.
Right. Well, I'm only 3 foot tall, so it's not much good me looking out of them. Do one of you want to tell me what you can see?
Yeah, I'll go to the northern one.
Okay, so to the north, you spot through the slit a tower behind a building that looks like a graveyard. So behind the church, there is a graveyard, and the other side of the graveyard is one of the towers. Other than that, you can see the palisade and the edge of a forest far into the distance.
Okay. I'll relay that back to everybody else.
Okay.
I'll look towards the east.
Okay, to the east, you spot a building that you believe would be a stables, as well as a huge building that you're not sure what it is, but it's significantly larger than most of the buildings. And you also see what appears to be a farm and another couple of towers.
Is this all within like the city walls, palisades?
All within the city walls, yep.
And the other two windows?
Oh, so to the south, you spot another farm, and you see a windmill. Who's looking to the south?
I would have looked to the south.
Okay, Luff, can you make a perception roll, please?
11.
Not quite high enough. It's dark. Nope. So you see a windmill. You clearly know it's a windmill.
Yeah. Just out of interest, are the sails of the windmill turning, given that it's been quite stormy weather, or are they locked?
No, they're locked at the moment.
Okay.
There are other farms about, a small residence, and another tower on the palisade.
I'll pick Fingers up so I can look out the window for the west side.
Don't drop him.
Oh, thank you kindly. I'll get a nosebleed when I'm up high, so be careful.
And out the west, you see nothing. You are literally looking over the palisade straight away and looking out into rolling countryside.
Oh, that's enough. Put me down. I can't see nothing. Put me down.
Do you want the quick way down, or would you like the nice way down?
Gently with me, gently.
I'll put him down nicely.
Thank you. Thank you. I think maybe we should go and look in that big building. If that's like the, I don't know, the town hall or something, perhaps somebody would be important to be in there.
Where's the that big keep on a hill in relation to everything?
That was further south beyond the windmill, but you couldn't quite see that from the window because it's quite dark. So you want to go to the big building to the east?
Well, it does look like it's the most important building here.
I think, though, given that our little friends we just bumped into, that caution might be the better part of valor on this particular occasion. Let's have a little crafty look, shall we, this time?
Yeah, I think we'll go a little bit more cautious this time.
Yeah. Off you go then.
No, you first.
Right, let me show you how it's done.
When we go back downstairs,
yep,
Luth will just check the pour box to make sure it's still intact.
Define intact.
Untouched by
gnomes.
Fingers. Untouched by gnomes.
Gnomes don't rattle.
The contents of the pour box need to be there.
Yeah, that's all he wants to know.
Not to say that it's all there.
Yeah. He's good with that.
Yeah, no one's looked inside yet, so you're not sure what's in there.
Yeah.
But there is definitely coinage in there.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Okay, so you come down and you make your way out the temple. And to head to the building you want to see, you have to effectively walk into the town square.
Well, would like...
That's got the hole in, isn't it?
Yeah.
There is a gap where there appeared to have been something before, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Given I'm quite
How big are we talking? Like building or telegraph pole?
Larger than the telegraph pole, significantly smaller than the building.
Can I do an investigation check on it? Like a closer look?
Yeah. So you're going to walk into the middle of the town square to have a look at it, are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going to duck behind a boulder. I don't like being out in the open like this when we found goblins.
Okay. Before you get to the hole, Rav,
Mhm.
you hear the sound of chewing, gnawing, biting from the corner of the square. And as soon as you enter the square, you are approached by 2 wargs. Please roll for initiative. Again. Yay!
You're desperate to kill us off, aren't you?
No.
Hang on. I got a natural 1, so I'm obviously going last. So
No, you still apply your dex modifier to that, so you might not necessarily be last.
okay. So 3.
13.
And
A few more of them this time than there was last time.
yeah, significantly more. So the silencing of the bells alerted the goblins to the fact that something was wrong. Effectively, the previous 2 were ringing it for fun, and they just didn't want to stop. They've been called down a number of times, totally disregarded the orders. So the fact that it did suddenly stop raised the goblins' alert. So, with that, we have our friend Luff, who is top of the initiative.
Well, he still has his sword in his hand, and he will leap towards them, race towards them, while calling out, "Fingers! Goblins! Sneak up and strangle them!"
Okay, just don't let them here.
Okay, so the square's not that big, so I'm going to say that you can get within striking range and make an attack in the turn. So roll for your attack.
So I've rolled a 15, and my longsword, I take an attack bonus of 4. Is that right?
Yep, so that's AC 19 to hit, and the wargs have a target AC of 13, so that is a hit.
Cool. And so I'm rolling a D8 for the longsword. So I'm saying this longhand, as it were, because just getting used to the system.
That's fine.
Right, I've rolled a 1. I've got a +2, makes it a 3.
Okay, so 3 points of damage on that warg.
This attack might have been dramatic, but it was ineffective.
Okay, fantastic work there. So, Rav, you are next.
I'm going to do the same. I'm going to run in, but with my quarterstaff in hand, and I'll go for the nearest one to me.
Okay, that probably be the one that Luff has just attacked.
I'll swing my hood down so they can see my full silvery goodness, and I'll run in and hit it with the quarterstaff. For a combat, it's the dice roll plus modifiers, is it?
So for your quarterstaff, it'll be die roll plus strength mod plus proficiency bonus.
Yeah. So that's a 13.
Which is the target AC.
Brilliant. And damage is 10.
Ooh.
Damn, how did you achieve that?
I rolled a 6 plus 4 modifier.
No proficiency in damage.
Ah, okay then. So 6
So what's your strength bonus?
plus 2.
Okay, so you still get that, so it's 8.
Okay, cool. I'll change my sheet later.
Nah, that's fine. That's fine. Awesome. So, Rav has had a go. Fingers.
Okay. Is that Warg still standing?
Is definitely standing.
Okay. I would like to duck under the shadow of the nearest boulder. I think the courtyard was strewn with boulders. Is that?
Yeah. Some of them
So-
are bigger than you.
Yeah, I'm only a small guy, so I'd like to sort of duck behind there and try and sort of hide myself a little bit if I can. And then with my short bow, I shall take a shot at the Rag that those two are both hacking away at.
Concentrated fire. I like it.
So it's 8 plus 5. So yeah, 13.
Again, target AC. Just well done.
Cool. And I'll get the sneak attack because they're in melee with it. Is that correct?
They are within 5 feet, so you do get your D6 sneak attack bonus as well.
There you go. So 4 plus my 3 is 7 altogether total.
Plus your D6.
No, I did. I rolled 2d6, 3 on one, 1 on the other, plus 3 piercing. So, yeah.
Unlucky.
Totally
Unlucky
7.
indeed. Okay, it's still standing. Fortunately. Okay, so one of the goblins, which you're not sure where they're coming from yet, but an arrow gets launched at you, Luff, because you charged in first. That's a nat 20.
That doesn't sound good.
Ooh. That's a critical hit.
So the first nat 20 of the campaign comes from the GM. Yes. And as with my rules, it's that's max damage. So that's D6 plus 2. So that's 8 points of piercing damage as an arrow strikes you in the shoulder.
Ouch.
Does piercing make any difference to it? Or I don't
No.
really know.
No, it's just the damage type.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that would cause Luth to stagger backwards, wouldn't it? Quite shocked.
Okay, and you're still standing?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Not by much, but
That's impressive to be still standing. So the second warg, I'm going to say dives in at Rav, because I would say that shot from the arrow did stagger you back. So actually, Rav's the closest to you now. So the warg attacks. He rolls a 9, which will not hit you. So it misses. Then 3 other arrows fire. So Fingers, 1 is fired at you. That definitely misses. 1 is fired at you, Taman.
Okay.
Yeah, 21 AC, which definitely hits.
Was that the one at me, was it?
Yeah, that's for 5.
Okay. Where's my pencil?
And the final arrow also goes at Luff. Oh, and that misses. That was a 4 on the die. So these arrows are pinging from various locations that seem to be striking the ground around you rather than... so when they miss, they're striking the ground around you, indicating that they're coming from up high.
Have they- do we get an idea of the rough direction that they've come from if they're if we've seen them hit the ground?
You would have to look around at where they hit the ground and where they've landed, which would probably take your turn.
Oh, okay. Well, I won't then.
Okay, so top of the order, and Luff.
I haven't been yet.
Oh, sorry. No, you haven't. It was so low down there. We missed you out there. Yeah. Taman.
How big is the square?
It's about 65 by 65 foot.
Okay. So, is it safe to assume, obviously without telling us where they're coming from, is it safe to assume that the arrows that are flying at us from above are from outside of a 20-foot radius?
Absolutely.
Damn. Okay. In that, how many goblins? Sorry, are on the, or how many creatures are on the ground with us?
There are 2 wargs that are on the ground.
Yep.
And there are arrows firing at you from above.
Okay.
And you maybe from the ground as well. You're not sure, but there's definitely some firing from above.
Everything on the ground is within 20 feet, though. Yeah.
No, the 2 wargs are on the ground, which are you'd have to move to get within 20 feet of them.
That's fine. I can do that.
Okay.
Well, it's not to be within 20 feet. I'm going to cast sleep basically, and it's a like an area of effect thing. So it's everything within 20 feet. So it's 5d8.
Yep.
So 6, so 10, 16, 17. 8. So anything with hit points of 20 or lower is now asleep.
Does that affect us too?
Only if you're within 20 feet, and I made sure the spell wasn't.
He can target who that spells.
Yeah, I'm targeting the creatures.
Okay, now the way sleep works is you roll the sleep die.
I did,
and you affect creatures starting with the lowest hit points.
Yep.
And it eats them die up. So it's not every creature below 20.
Ah, right, okay, sorry.
If you roll 20, if the first creature is 7 hit points, then you take 7 off, then you move on to the next one until you can't actually get a creature asleep anymore.
Right, okay. So
in this example, you had 20 hit. You rolled a 20 on your die.
I did.
So the warg that has been peppered and battered and whatever. In fact, is there a save for that?
I've just looked on. It doesn't look like there is. Undead and creatures immune to being charmed are not affected by it.
No. Okay, no. So there is no save. So the warg that's been peppered gently lays down and falls asleep.
And
the other one, pardon?
How much is that taken off? Just so I can keep telling myself.
I'm calculating it.
Okay, cool.
Otherwise, you'll know exactly what hit points he's got left, and I can't do that.
Fair dues.
Okay, so the first warg literally hits the floor, Sparko, gently snoring. The second warg sort of shakes his head a bit, and then recomposes himself, and he's still there.
Oh, okay. Fair dues.
So you're done.
Yep.
So, Luff, you've taken this huge arrow, and one of the wargs has fallen down, but it's still breathing. You can see it's still breathing.
I'm more interested in the one that hasn't fallen down, and will throw myself into the fray.
Once more onto the breach, dear friend, yes?
Yeah. Not without some trepidation, but he's not going to let that show.
Excellent. So roll for attack them.
10.
Not good enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, I already guessed that.
Okay. Rav.
I am going to use my Eldritch Blast again on the second warg.
The one's still standing, yep.
Yep. That is a... that would be a 20.
Definitely.
Not a natural then.
Yeah, very good hit.
Rolling damage is a 1d10. 7.
Okay, very good hit. So you smell the charring fur as your Eldritch Blast strikes true. Excellent. So the warg that is still standing again tries to chomp on you, Rav. 11.
Hits.
Oh.
I'm guessing it hurts.
Yeah, 2d6 plus 3.
Ouch.
Yep. You're lucky though. 6.
Ooh. That would knock me to a knee.
Put you to a knee, but you're not down.
Yep.
Okay. Fingers. You're again being targeted by a goblin. AC 12 is not enough, sir. So again, this arrow clatters to the floor around you. This time, you've got an idea of where this has come from, because obviously it's the second time it's happened now, and you think that they're shooting from the windmill. Okay. Yeah, Fingers, it's your go.
Your mic's muted.
I'm going to take another shot at the warg that's attacking Rav. At the moment with my short bow, I'm quite happy hunkered underneath my boulder here. The arrows seem to be bouncing all around, but none of them are striking home.
They strike Luff pretty well.
17.
Good hit.
Yeah. Okay. 11. Damage.
Oh, that's much better. Okay, starting to look a bit worse for wear now. Definitely. So, all of a sudden, a rain of arrows descend into the fray. Blatantly misses. And all of them clatter around the party. None of them striking true. You hear yipping and yapping. So they're very clearly expressing the fact that someone else is there. Taman, not going to forget you this time.
No, fair dues. I'm going to do the tried and tested magic missile and I'm going to focus it all on the second warg.
All on Warg 2. Fantastic.
Yes. Basically, I don't like him because he didn't go to sleep. Okay, so that is 7 plus 1, 8.
8, which...
Oh, no, it's each, sorry, it's each dice plus 1, isn't it?
Each one is D4 plus 1, so a maximum of 5 per roll.
Right, so it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, 8 sounded better because that was exactly the damage you needed to kill it. So, this warg hits the floor. Yeah,
Cool.
looking like a sleeping first warg, but this one ain't breathing.
No.
Battered.
Okay.
So, back to the top of the initiative. Luff.
So what do I see before me now? Just refresh.
You see a charred, burned, bludgeoned warg that's definitely not breathing.
Mm-hmm.
You see a slashed, smacked warg that's lying on the floor asleep. And you hear arrows clattering all around you. But you have no idea where they're coming from.
Well, I'll use a turn to ask. If I'll just shout out, where are those arrows coming from?
Okay, you can
The
use
windmill. They're coming from the windmill.
you can use see that'd be a minor action. You can use an action to dodge, which would give enemies disadvantage on their attack rolls against you.
Okay, I'm happy to do that.
Fantastic. So you know they're coming for the windmill now.
Yep.
Or at least some of them are. Awesome. So, Rav.
We've got nothing directly immediately in front of us, have we?
Yep, you got a sleeping warg.
I'm going to sort of run up towards that and use my dagger while it's asleep. Just to stab it.
Okay, you can still do that with your quarterstaff, and if you do that and it is a hit, because it's asleep, it'll automatically be a crit.
Do that then. I use my quarterstaff since I've already got it to hand.
Yeah,
Bring
exactly.
it up above my head, and apparently hit my own head. 9.
Don't forget, he's asleep and prone, so you get advantage anyway.
Ah, cool. That's considerably better. 23.
Yep. So you bring the quarterstaff up, and you absolutely crash down on him. So you get a crit roll, so an extra damage die.
This is a 2d6 instead of 1, yeah?
Yep.
Do I add my modifiers to both rolls or just once?
To both.
Cool. 5, 3, 8.
And 8 was exactly what you needed to put him into a permanent slumber.
I don't feel bad putting walks down.
Yeah, so it's definitely not waking up again.
Can I shout out to the group as well? Now that I've beaten that thing.
Yep.
We need to get into cover away from the arrows.
Okay, you can move if you want to.
Yeah. I'll signal to everybody that we need to move to the next nearest building within running distance.
Yeah, which would be the large building that you were looking at anyway.
Yeah. We need to get over there, and I'll bolt for it.
Yeah. Okay, you can get to the door. You wouldn't get through the door in this term.
Okay, that's fine.
Fantastic. So you their fingers.
Okay, so I'm going to shout out, I think they're coming from the windmill, so that everyone's kind of aware. And then I'd like to try and use the environment, the boulders, and the various buildings to try and block as much of the line of sight as I can while I make my way towards the large building as well.
Okay, so you're going to reposition yourself to have a boulder between you and the windmill. Yeah, you can achieve that. And again, in fact, no, you'd be able to get into the building because you didn't move into the real battle as such, did you?
No, I stayed in the background. Can I sort of try and stealthily get into the building? I'm a bit wary about charging into anywhere at the minute.
So you're running, dodging arrows, and you want to be stealthy.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't know how you want to rule it. I'm just trying to get across the thing as unseen as best I can.
I will say make a stealth roll with disadvantage.
What I don't want to do is charge into a building when I know there's goblins everywhere. That's so. If it comes to it, I'd rather stop outside.
Okay, no, I'll let you do a stealth roll with disadvantage. So 2d20 and drop the highest.
Double 2.
Yeah, you're noisy as hell.
Yeah, no good.
Awesome. So again, the goblins are firing at you first, fingers. But again, you're using terrain for cover, so that misses. It then shoots at you, Luff, but you're dodging as well, so they get disadvantage on that roll. Again, absolutely miss. And the other 2 arrows come in, miss, and miss. They're not very good at this, are they?
I don't think we mind that too much.
I'm sure
They
you.
They can miss as long as they like.
Okay, Luff, you're up. So you start to see your party members darting towards the large building.
His intention is, he's seen Rav make a hasty exit here, and he's pretty sure Fingers can get away. What Luth would do is hold his shield up to protect Tamon and shout at Tamon to get under cover. The idea is he's backing off with the shield, protecting Tamon as they head for cover together. He'll even give Tamon a bit of a shove if he needs to.
Tamon's there studying his spell book, thinking what spell he can do next, just totally oblivious to what's going on around him.
He won't be oblivious for very long. He's getting shoved by Luth, saying, "Get the."
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So Rav, that your road partner is standing next to your new wizard friend, trying to deflect any arrows from hitting him.
It's still darkness all us around us, isn't it? I mean, can't specifically see anything, or at least specifically see something that's firing arrows.
Where you are in the doorway, no, and Dragonborn don't have dark vision, so no, you can't.
Okay, so ruins what I was going to do. I'm wondering, can I shout something to intimidate them?
What would you like to shout?
I'd like to do it in Draconic and shout at them that we've got them surrounded and we know where they are.
Okay, yeah, you can shout that. That's not a problem. It's under charisma, so it's
yeah, it's all right. I haven't updated my character sheet properly. I've changed the proficiencies, but I forgot to update the stats.
That's all right.
That would be a 4.
Okay. You shout out in Draconic. There's no change. There's nothing. Has anyone had a reason to encounter goblins in the past?
I doubt it very much on my part.
I haven't.
I may have met him in the forest over the years, but nothing stands out.
Okay, no worries. Then your shout does nothing at all. So you're still outside the building?
Yeah.
And you can see a sign hanging outside. So you now believe that this building is the local inn?
Ah.
Get inside.
Okay, yeah, I'll go in. If I'm there. I think.
Yeah.
Not yet. So,
Oh,
Rav,
right, okay.
Yeah, I'll make our way inside, at least it's under cover.
okay. So, I'll take you out of the initiative for now. That leaves us with Fingers.
So, am I just outside the building?
You were just outside the building.
Yeah. So, I'm happy to enter once other people have gone in front.
What? So you're waiting for Luff and Tamon to come in?
Yeah, I'll enter the building as soon as someone else has gone in.
Oh yeah,
I'll
Rav's
someone
already
be the
gone.
first in the door. Yeah.
No, Rav's
okay.
in.
I'll follow Rav in. Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
I'll take you out the initiative as well. Okay.
Typical gnome, never wants to be the first to the bar.
This AC 18 on you, Luff, which is a hit.
Oh dear.
For 3.
Okay, that's me down to 0.
Okay, so you are unconscious, and yeah, you've literally just hit the floor. And the last attack misses Tammin.
Cool. I'm quite happy with that.
Okay, so Tammin, you were flicking through your book looking for a spell, and all of a sudden you hear a ding, and as you look up, Luff's on the floor with 2 arrows in him now.
Oh. You're right. No? Okay. Tammin is really not used to being out in the open world. He had no idea that this was even possible. He's just, he's used to reading books, so he's gone back to doing what he likes doing. What he feels safe doing, I think. It's my turn, yeah?
It is indeed your turn.
In that case, then, I'm out of spell slots until my next rest. So I will go ahead and use Ray of Frost on whoever's closest.
Okay. At the moment, you can't see where the arrows are coming from. So whoever's closest to you is actually Luff.
Oh, in that case, then I won't do that. Can I take a moment to look around? Yeah. Can I take a moment to look around and see if I can see where the arrows are coming from?
Okay, you look around. It is the middle of the night, and you are human.
Right. In that case, then, damn it, is that me already done that, or you can let me backtrack a bit?
Looking around isn't an action. That's just something.
In that case, then I'm going to take my It's hang on. I would already have been holding my quarterstaff because that's my arcane focus, so I'm using that to cast spells.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast light on my quarterstaff so it illuminates the general area with a dim glow. It's 40 feet for a dim glow.
Yep.
So just help me see a little bit. So I'm going to do that.
Okay, so you cast light. So you spot in the distance of your light 2 figures moving just to the northeast that looks like another farm.
Okay. Okay, well,
green, pointy ears.
I'm guessing there might be some goblins in that general direction then.
It's a good shout. Unfortunately,
so whoever is conscious,
you don't see Rav, and you don't see fingers.
No one sees fingers.
In that case, then I'm going to look for some cover somewhere. Into it, if I can.
That's a good shout. So, from where you are now, if you were to go against the wall of the inn, you could effectively block the line of sight from the windmills, and obviously that would put a solid wall between you and the farm goblins.
Yeah. Well, I have seen some of the others go into the. Is it into the inn that they've gone into?
No, you were nose deep in the book.
Fair dues. I will go back against the wall then.
Okay. So we're back to Luff, who's unconscious. So, Luff, for this, I need you to make a death save, please, which is a straight D20 roll, no modifier. A 1 to 10 is a fail. 11 to 19 is a pass. And if you roll a natural 20, you immediately stand up with 1 hit point.
Okay, here we go. 18.
So that is a pass. 3 passes and you become stable. 3 fails, you are dead.
Okay.
So you are 1 step to being stabilized.
Okay.
Rav.
I'm going to look around me, and I'll notice that our party has got drastically smaller since the last time I looked. How far away? How far away is Luth from the entrance to the door?
It's about 25, 30 feet max.
I'll sort of walk up to the door and looking around. I can see that Luth's on the floor, I noticed that Tamon's nowhere to be found. Stamp my feet and I'm going, where the hell has that wizard gone this time? And I'm going to make a run towards Luth. The arrows be damned. I don't know what it's called, but I can try and help him stabilize, can't I?
Yeah.
medicine
So
check, yeah.
if you you get to him and you carry out a medicine check.
I apologise if I amputate your leg doing this.
Well, I'm not going to know about it, am I?
You will do when you wake up. Which leg did you like least? That would be a 4.
Okay. So all I'm going to say is that you try to remove the arrows to stop the bleeding. You might have digged them a little bit, made the hole slightly bigger, but you don't actually impose any physical damage or anything on a bad medicine check. So because I don't do any lingering effects, there's no consequences to that other than a bigger hole. So you might have a better scar.
I tried.
Awesome.
You did.
So, Fingers, you are now the only one in the inn.
Right. Can I
That's
just
not
have a
gonna
quick sort of breakdown of my surroundings? So I've got dark vision. So is there anyone
Yeah.
else in the inn or anything?
Okay, so the inn is you are effectively in a dining room, which is strewn with wreckage everywhere, and a huge rock lies in the middle of the room, and it's effectively crushed a very sturdy dining table and a couple of benches. So it's made a huge mess. There's also what looks like a bed and a wardrobe on the floor. And as you look up, you notice there's a hole in the roof, and it's effectively come through one of the bedrooms and smashed half the furniture into the floor below.
Right. Okay. So there's no greenskins around, no goblins running about. Nothing that I can see.
Make a perception roll.
16, 17 total.
Okay. You hear what sounds like rummaging coming from one of the back rooms.
Okay. I think that's just help. I'm having a bit of a battle of conscience at the moment. I'm not too bothered about Luth, but Rav gave me the silver horse's head, and so I feel like I kind of owe him a little bit. And hearing the rustling sound out the back there, and knowing that there's goblins abroad, Fingers is going to dash out to where Rav is and try and help him in some way.
Okay, so how are you going to help him?
So I'm going to dodge out. I'm going to see that Rav is trying his best to stabilise Luth, and I'm going to join in. So if I can try and stabilise him.
Okay, can you do a medicine check? And I'm going to allow this one with advantage now because there's two of you there doing the same thing.
Okay, so medicine is -1, I'm afraid. My highest roll was a 6, so 5. Sorry.
So you rolled 2d20 and you got a 6.
Yes, afraid so. I've got a 5 and a 2. And I've
Somebody
got,
buy this
sorry,
for
yeah,
you guys.
6 and a 2, yeah. A
Yeah,
-1 for medicine.
so the first arrow that struck him in the chest is also now a bigger hole. So you're going to have some pretty damn good scars, Luff.
My sister's a nurse in the family, what can I say?
I'm not entirely sure who my enemies are at the moment.
You ain't got a clue.
Go back to being unconscious.
So, two of the goblins don't have line of sight of you at the moment, so they can't fire. The other two, though, from the farm, that Rav and Fingers don't know they're coming from the farm, whereas Tamon does. So, one arrow is going to be fired at each of you guys. So, the first one at Fingers, that's a 19 Fingers.
Oh, hit.
For 4 points of damage. So as you're bent down, an arrow strikes you in the back.
Oh.
And the second one goes to Rav, which with a 1 definitely misses.
Ding.
In fact, it flies so far over your head it doesn't even ding. Okay, so we're back at the top of the order. So, Luth, can we have another death save, please?
13.
Did I get a go again?
Oh, sorry, Taman. Okay, you still passed your death save. We'll give you that.
Does that mean he gets another one when it rolls around to him after me again?
No.
I did try for you, but oh well.
Okay, so Taman, you've pinned your back to a wall.
Yep.
Seen two of your comrades dart out, bend down, and wiggle the arrows that Luff's got sticking out of him. And one of them has just struck Fingers in the back.
Okay. So it's not looking good for anybody, really, apart from, I'm all right. I'm still alive. How far away are the goblins at the farm?
They're about 35 feet away.
I will cast Ray of Frost at them then. If I can jump out of my hiding place and do so.
Yeah, I mean, you could edge along to the corner of the wall, stick a ray out, and then duck back behind so you've got cover again afterwards.
Yeah, I will do that.
Go for it.
Let me just pull up the thing just to remind myself what it does. It is a frigid beam of blue-white light streaks towards a creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack. So that is using... so it's D20 plus 5. No, I don't. I got a 9.
You rolled a 9, or was that?
No, I rolled a 4
5.
and I have plus 5.
Yep, that is. So as you fire your beam of frost, it strikes one of the posts on the outside of the farm and freezes that cold. And the goblins...
Is that that's like totally alerted them to where I am, though, right?
They knew where you were anyway, but you've now darted back behind the wall, so they can't see you. But they yakker away and almost like they're laughing at you.
Yeah, they probably are.
So yeah,
I think it's already been proven I'm not very good.
No, top of the order. Luff passes his death save, which is fantastic. So that's 2 out of 3. Rav, you want to wiggle the arrow about anymore and make the scar bigger?
Can I just, if I do actually manage to help him, does he come back with 1 hit point, or does he just become stable?
He becomes stable.
So he's still unconscious, isn't he?
Still unconscious, yes.
Okay. Did I see from where I am, did I see where Taman just fired tried to fire his ray of missing at?
Well, as he came around the corner, he's already cast light on his staff, so that would have illuminated the area.
That would have lighted up when he cast his spell, wouldn't it?
No.
Okay.
And there is now a frozen, glistening post, so you've got an idea of where they are for sure.
I'll nudge Fingers and point in that general direction, and I'll shout, "Taman, will you get out here and help us and get your nose out of that book?" And I will try and wiggle the arrow about a bit more, see if I can get it through the other side.
My nose isn't in a book anymore.
Okay, so that's a medicine check with advantage, because there's still 2 of you doing it.
Okay. 18.
Okay, so that's the required stability. So you are no longer in danger, Luff, but you are still unconscious.
I can roleplay that.
Can I pull him to the side of the wall, Ian?
Sadly, that would be an action which you've taken to stabilize him, so not yet. Okay, Fingers. So you're confident now that Luff is stable?
So I'm feeling a bit sorry for myself. I've got an arrow in the back at the minute. And
don't worry, we'll wiggle yours around next.
Being a rather small fella, I'm not very confident about pulling anybody anywhere. So I'm going to turn the general direction the arrows hit me in the back from, and cast Minor Illusion to try and create a boulder that I hope will be enough to stop the goblins from firing in our direction, or at least block their sight of us.
Very good. I like that. Okay, so so you cast the illusion, and I'm going to let them have a wisdom save on that. Oh, no. They believe another boulder has fallen from the sky. And
They're not very bright.
no, they're not. They're absolutely not. Yeah, fantastic. So it's their go, and they're so confused that they actually dart back into the farm because they think that boulders are going to fall from the sky again. So yeah, you've effectively got at least a free round where you're not under attack.
Cool. Excellent. Okay.
So with that, Cameron.
Yes. I'm going to heed the request.
It wasn't a request.
Okay. I'm going to do as I'm told. And I'm just going to leg it into that inn. Oh, into wherever he was, sorry. I can't remember if he's at
So you're around Luff, and Taman's just bolted into the inn. Yes.
Where are you going?
I know he said he was bad at geography, but for crying out loud.
No, I didn't. I couldn't remember whether he was in the inn or not, so I'm going to go to him.
Okay, so you're going to go to Luff, who's only 10 feet away from you. Yep.
Yes. And I will go ahead and I will try. No, I'm not even going to attempt a medicine to try and help him.
He's stable.
Oh, he is. Oh, okay.
We already wiggled his arrows around back to health.
That is. I will go ahead and I will cast Mage Armor on him. No, I won't. I've used all my spells. Ignore that then.
And
I reckon the three of us could drag him into the pub and give him some beer. That'll wake him up. Let's drag him in there. There's three of us. We're sure to manage it.
What
Let's
could
do that
possibly be bad in an inn?
Well, 2.5 anyway. At least there's 2.5 of us.
Okay, so I'm going to say that you succeed in dragging Luff into the inn. The door can be closed, but it cannot be barred from the inside.
Is there no furniture or anything we could like push up against it?
There's a bed.
There's a bed that's fallen down. There's a wardrobe that's fallen down. There's various benches and tables.
Would you allow me to cast Ray of Frost on it to freeze it into place?
Interesting thought. Okay, go for it.
Yeah. Am I rolling to hit the door?
You are.
Okay. If I can't hit this door, I'm so sorry. Nope.
Oh god.
Nope. That was a natural one.
So you actually fire the bolt out of a window that's 3 foot to the left of the door.
Good God. Are you sure you're a wizard?
I don't know anymore, if I'm honest.
I'm just looking at him and going, what school did you go to again? Because I'm not sending any of my kids there.
I know the theory of these spells, but chances of me ever actually having used them is apparently very slim.
I'm so glad I'm unconscious so that I can continue to hold you guys with some respect afterwards.
They all saved you, love.
I don't know
I'm
that.
going to go and see if there's any bottles of beer behind the bar, and I'll drink half of one and pour the other half over Luff's face in the hope it wakes him up. I don't know if it will.
Great.
Okay,
It'll make me feel better.
the rest
so
of the rest of the
wake
party
up.
aren't aware. But Fingers, do you remember when you were in here before?
Oh, the rustling. Yeah, I'd forgotten all about that with the arrow sticking in my back and everything else going on.
I thought you might have, which is why I gave you a
Wonderful.
gentle reminder.
Can I just request while we're all stood in the inn that we have a quick break to use the amenities?
Yeah, please.
Okay, yeah. 5 minutes enough for everyone?
Spot
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
perfect. Yeah.
Cool. See you in 5. I don't need amenities, so I'm going to stay here.
I know I'm going to wake up in a minute from being unconscious, smelling of alcohol, and I'm just going to assume the worst, aren't I? Here I am in an inn, smelling of alcohol, and I've passed out. I'm going to think we've had a great party.
That's quite possible, actually.
Just going to wonder why everything hurts so much. Anyway, 5 minutes.
Yeah, please. There we go. So, while I'm waiting for everyone to come back, hopefully you're enjoying it. I am. A couple of teething issues with the first session, which everyone will get used to, but I think it's going okay so far. The guys seem to be enjoying it, which is good. And it's not easy. There are various steps they've carried out that have led this to being a tougher session than it should have been. Stopping the bell early was probably the worst one. But they'll learn from that, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Lots of damage being dealt. First 20 was mine. That's always a winner. And yeah.
Lots of cool little things being thrown around as well.
What's that?
Lots of cool little things being thrown around, even if they are going out the window.
Yeah, and again, as I've mentioned before, and I spoke to you guys, I'm not a complete rule Nazi. I like to use the rules as a guideline, but I also like the flexibility in trying to make the game enjoyable. And as one of my posts on the Absolute Tabletop group, if you're not part of that, I highly recommend you join him. They were talking about should GMs allow cool rules, and again, from one of my favorite online games run by Matt Click, the famous Matt Click, and the Provokers. That is absolutely awesome. So of course you can.
I've just started rewatching season 1 of that, and it still cracks me up with Durgan's blue beard.
No, it's only a little bit. Only a little bit.
It's the bit with the rainbow oil from Dice.
I know, but it's the fact that Durgan doesn't actually realise it.
I think that's one of the key things with D&D. It's not just about like killing the mobs and moving on to the next thing. It's doing funny little things like that, or what your character would actually do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm playing a campaign at the moment on Princes of the Apocalypse, and we've got 2 characters in that are brother and sister that absolutely hate cultists, in particular this group of cultists. So my monk is fairly lenient, understanding, quite lawfully good. And one of the cultists had enough and run away. And he ran past me. And they'd done everything they could to try and make me attack it as he ran past. I went, no, I'm letting him go. He wants to repent. So they shot him in the back. And I had to go at my party members for being cowardly and undermined. And the GM loved it.
That's the key to a good game, isn't it, really? A lot of the time is doing good story points. Not just leaving it to the DM to make everything.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time earlier on, you started a conversation. I just left you to it.
Yeah.
Got to the point where I wanted to step in and went, right, this is what we're going to do.
It's a two-way street, isn't it?
Hello.
Ah.
Oh, yeah.
Again, sorry about that.
Okay, so we're back. Fantastic. So you're in this inn, in the dining hall. Litter is strewn everywhere. and you spotted a boulder that's come through the roof, dropped a bed, dropped a wardrobe. Fingers heard rustling coming from one of the back rooms. Now you're a little bit more settled in, even though the ray of frost went straight out the window. Can you guys who are awake please make a investigation check?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good. 13 plus 3, 16.
5.
8.
Rav can't see the nose on the end of his face. Taman can't see past his book. And
That's how I like
Fingers spots a goblin figure lying on the floor.
Okay. Well, I remember the rustling. Now that I've come to think of it. So I'm going to cast Minor Illusion again, and I'm going to make the sound of a screaming woman come from the opposite end of the building that we're in to see if anyone goes to investigate while we're at the other end. That's my plan.
At this point, hearing the screaming woman, Rav will go to the opposite end of the building.
No, stay, Rev, stay here. You idiot.
The woman!
We're trying to see who's going to come out. Get your bow ready.
There, will they?
Okay. So, from the screaming, a goblin comes charging out of a doorway. And you get a quick glimpse inside, and you believe it's a kitchen. Yeah, you see a range and some pots and a sink and that sort of thing. And he comes charging towards the screaming. You know, goblins, they see him, they're opportunist hunters.
Yeah, exactly. That was my plan. So he's run off to the other end of the room to see what the screaming is.
Does he directly pass any of us?
Unfortunately, he suddenly darts to the right and slumps to the floor. And you notice a crossbow bolt sticking out the side of his neck.
Okay.
It wasn't me.
Oh, what'd you make of that, guys? That's a bit odd, isn't it? I think
A
we
little
might
bit
have
of warning next time would have been good.
I think we might have a friend here somewhere. Show yourself, Goblin Killer. I'm going to shout out.
Okay. In the quiet following the goblin slumping to the floor, you hear the unmistakable click. Especially, you know it, Fingers, as a small crossbow being reloaded.
Yeah, I'm going to call out. Show yourself, Goblin Killer. We mean you no harm.
You hear a female voice call out. You come near me, I'll stick one of them in you too.
I'll say, don't worry, Flower. We'll stay right here. We're just trying to get by.
Ooh, how? Oh, hang on. I've got a bit of an idea. Give me a second. How much does the crossbow weigh roughly?
A crossbow?
Yeah.
5 pounds?
Cool. Right. Do we know the rough general direction of where this person is?
Yeah, weighs 5 pounds. So ran along the way he fell. Yeah, I'm going to give you that. The bolt came from the bedroom that had the rock strewn through it.
Okay, so that is That's gonna be more than 30 feet away from me, isn't it?
Possibly not, but you can't see her.
Oh, just being able to see her doesn't really matter. I'm gonna try and use Mage Hand to make like the spectral hand appear next to her to try and see if I can give her a bit of a fright and try and grab the crossbow off her. If you'll let me do that.
You can't see her.
Doesn't say I need to be able to see her.
But it's 30 feet in a point you can see. You can't create an object behind a wall that you don't know what's there. You need to be able to see the point at which you are summoning that spectral hand.
Yeah, all right, fair point.
So the question is, do you want to see her to be able to cast that spectral hand?
No, I think I'll leave that actually. Because I might get a crossbow bolt in me.
I'm going to carry on trying to talk to her, trying to just try and use a bit of my charm, a bit of my gnomish charm, and I'm going to say something like, now listen, Flower, one of our friends here is down. We've killed a couple of them green skins as well. So look, we'll put our weapons down and carry on tending to our pal here. And if you like the look of us, come and say hello. And if you don't, we'll leave you be if you leave us be. How does that sound?
She laughs. You hear her laugh. And it sounds almost maniacal. So like there's a bit of madness in it. But you're not quite sure what it's coming from. And she says, you stay down there, I'll stay up here. That's perfectly good with me.
Suits me, Flower. While you're up there, can you just tell me, is there anything down here that might wake my mate up here? He's a bit worse for wear. Just point me in the right direction and I'll sort it out.
She calls down. I'm a traveller. When the village was attacked, I was left behind. I wasn't thought of. I don't know.
You're not from round here either then, bit like us.
Yeah, something like that.
Fair dues, no problem. We're just trying to wake. You ain't got any magic or anything like that can sort him out, have you? You ain't got to come down here.
She sort of hesitates for a little bit and then goes, I have a little something that may help him.
All right, well, while you think about it, just tell us what happened in the village here, will you?
Well, we were having a drink one evening and all of a sudden boulders literally fell from the sky. And all of a sudden this huge cloud came down, took the Night Stone from the village. It's rumoured to have magical powers with runes etched on it. No one knows really what it is and just took it away.
Where did all the goblins come from then?
I think where the village was empty, they just took advantage of it.
Oh, they just turned up from the woods, did they?
I don't know.
Who took the Night Stone? Did you see?
Nope, didn't see a thing. But that thing was huge. They would have had to have been real strong.
Is there anyone else left in the village that you know of, or just you?
I haven't heard of anyone else or seen anyone else other than goblins. And those I see, I put down. I'm quite handy with this little thing.
Oh, good for you. I can see that. Now, listen, why don't you chuck down that little thing you had? Chuck it onto the bed down here. I'll put my little bow down and just get it off the bed and give it to my mate. Does that sound all right?
Okay, she says, one of you come to the hole.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll come to the hole. You'll recognise me. I'm the good-looking one. All right, I'll just put down my gear here.
Okay, so as you get to the hole, you see a dark-haired female looking down at you, wearing simple robes, what appears to be a tattoo of some sort of snake around her wrist, and she starts lowering a blanket down the hole to you.
A blanket.
Yep.
So how can this help my friend then?
Open it.
Okay. Have you got a name I can call you, or shall I stick with Flower?
She laughs. I haven't been called Flower in a long time. You can call me Keller.
Keller. How you doing, Keller? I'm Fingers. You might have heard of me.
I've heard of fingers and toes.
Good. Oh, I see. Like that, is it? No worries. Thank you, Keller. Anyway, what's in this blanket? You say open it.
She steps back into the shadows. She's gone.
Okay. I'm not going to open it just yet. I'm just going to drag it back to where the others are and just, I don't know if they heard our conversation, but I'll relay it if they didn't.
Yeah, they heard it. It was very clear. It wasn't very quiet.
Okay.
Not everyone.
So what do you reckon then? Who's going to open this? I think one of you two magic guys ought to, really, just in case there's any booby traps. I've still got this arrow sticking out my back.
I will do it. Would I be able to do some sort of arcana check on it to see if I can work out what it is before I do?
What is? It's just a blanket.
All right. Can I see if it's imbued with any magic?
You can try. See if it's a magical blanket.
Okay.
You succeed. It gives you
Roll.
nice, pleasant dreams.
Roll for Arcana.
Okay. 17.
Okay, there is something magical within it, but it is simply a blanket that she used to descend the object rather than throw it down and risk it being broken.
Okay. I'll go ahead now. I'll open the blanket up.
Within the blanket is a small file containing a pink, almost translucent liquid.
Okay. What does everybody else make of this?
She did kill the goblin. She said it would help.
She's been true to her
Open
word
wide,
so
Luke.
far. He's already dead, so he ain't going to know if it don't work, is he?
Well, exactly.
Yeah. All right then. I'm gonna say that I'm not gonna be the one to actually give it to him because I don't want anything like that on me. So I'm gonna pass it to somebody who's willing to do it.
I'll do it. I've travelled with him for a day or two. I feel like I should try and at least help him.
All right.
So I'll just sort of pry his mouth open and pour it in.
Okay, so you unstopper the file, pour the small amount of liquid into his throat, and Luth regains 5 hit points, coughing and spluttering as he comes to.
Hey.
Luke, just remember that I'm the one that brought you back to life. The holes were a means to an end. Just don't drink anything for a while.
I think Luth would. I think Luth would be so confused right now. He doesn't know how he got in here. He doesn't know why everything hurts so much, and he doesn't know why he smells of alcohol.
Shush! Just don't ask questions. Just accept it.
Okay, so the party's all awake, back in the land of the living, and you're in the dining room of an inn where there is a young lady who's pretty accurate with a crossbow in one of the bedrooms upstairs.
Right.
Presumably, I know all this because they'll have explained the situation to Luth. Is that right?
Yeah, they've explained it all to you.
Okay.
Could be used now as a short rest to possibly regain some hit points.
Possibly.
It's an hour, isn't it, for a short rest?
Yep. Bearing in mind that the goblins in the windmill probably saw you heading towards the inn.
An hour's a long time when you're being attacked, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to linger for that long.
Yeah.
So there's 2 dead goblins in the dining room. You know there's a kitchen pantry room. And you know that there's at least a second floor.
I don't know about you guys. I'm a bit peckish. I think we should have a look in his kitchen.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Mm.
If nothing else, there might be some nuts.
After you, then. Ha.
I'll head in first then.
Okay. Are you simply just heading to the pantry?
I'm going to linger at the door and sort of scan it around, see if I can see or hear anything first. Charging in rooms didn't go so well last time.
Okay, 2 seconds. 15. Does that hit you, Rav?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, a crossbow bolt strikes you in the shoulder for 3.
Wow.
And all of a sudden you hear a, sorry, please give me warning next time.
Is that from
Is that
there
you,
upstairs?
Keller?
Is that you, Fingers?
Yeah, it's me, Flower. What are you doing?
I just saw movement. No one told me. I just shot.
Oh, blooming heck. All right. Well, listen, we're going to have a look around down here in the kitchen. Do you think you could not shoot any of us?
Click. Another bolt goes into her crossbow and she says, now I know, yes, I won't shoot you.
Do you want anything
Thank
from the
you.
kitchen yourself? You're probably hungry and you're being stuck up there.
Yes, please.
Would you prefer, sweet or savoury? I'll have a look for you.
Meat?
Some meat. All right, I'll sort you out some meat. Don't shoot any of us, all right? If we're not green, don't shoot.
And don't shoot the silver one.
Don't shoot the silver one. Okay.
Really, don't shoot the silver one.
Okay. So, you make your way to the pantry door that's still open as the goblin ran out towards the screaming girl's voice that was deftly created by Fingers. And inside the kitchen, it is pretty much destroyed by another fallen rock. But you do spot a huge bag in the middle of the kitchen. And I mean, this thing is huge and it's rammed with just about everything you can imagine food-wise.
Oh, okay.
But it is absolutely too big to drag.
Can I pull out some like a leg of lamb or something, or some ham or some chicken or something like that?
There's a chicken in there.
Okay, I'll pull out a chicken and I'll just shout out to Keller. Found you some chicken. Will that do ya?
Lovely, lovely.
Rav at this point is currently slumped against the door and he'll just sort of rasp. You should probably check it's not like poisoned siege warfare. That would be my thoughts.
How you doing, Rav? Are you in a bad way?
I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a solid 1.
But I've got an arrow sticking out of my back. I'm not moaning about it, am I? Come on.
I'm covered in scales and it just pierced me. I think I win.
Okay, so as you look around the kitchen, there's not much there, other than what's in the contents of the bag, which has got some muffins, some cheese, a couple of cloves, a broken silver jug, probably worth about 10 gold if you scrapped it, and a cracked hourglass.
Doesn't sound like
Not a lot. Not a lot at all.
Well, look, I'm gonna put together a little picnic hamper for Keller while you guys decide what you want to do. I'm just gonna start putting food and bits and pieces in a little hamper.
Okay. I'm going to go and sit in a corner and start reading again.
I'm just going to sort of sit here slumped, applying pressure to my shoulder.
She's a good shot, isn't she?
Yeah. If only we had a healer in the group.
Oh well.
Are you trying to say if only your paladin was level 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Silence.
Well, the paladin has lay on hands, but I don't understand how it works. It says use once per long
Now would be a
rest.
great time to practice.
Yeah, but is that? Can that be
You can
used?
use it once. Yeah, and then you have to have a long rest before you can use it again.
That's what the long rest is for, to get it back again, is it?
Yeah, recharge it, yeah.
Okay. Well, the long rest is something that he can do then. And Luth would give Rav his attention and tell him that there's something I can do to help. I can call upon the gods to heal you.
Yeah, so effectively you've got an inner reserve of hit points that you can give out, which is equal to 5 times your paladin level. So at level 1, you have 5 hit points that you can bestow, which is drained, and then it sort of refills when you take your rest.
Okay, I get that. That's obviously something the Luth should do right now then. And Rav will benefit from that straight away.
Thank
So
you.
Rav, he's touching you.
Yeah.
Do I get all 5 hit points, or can he dish out as many as he wants, or as few?
That's down to Luth.
Yeah, it'll be all 5. I think Luth knows that Rav was the one that dragged him inside and saved him because of what was said afterwards. So
Okay. While you two are bonding, I'm going to take this picnic outside for Keller. And I'll just call out as I exit the kitchen. Don't shoot, I'm coming out.
You're sounding a bit rough there, Ollie.
So as they're bonding in the kitchen, sharing up their hit points. Can you hear me?
You're very staticky.
Is that any better? Hello?
you sound like you've had half a bottle of beer.
If only.
It might be worth popping out the call and coming back in again.
Yeah, okay, I can do that. 1 second.
Okay. But I did make out that he's going to take the hamper, tell Keller that he's coming out, so not to shoot him, and make his way back upstairs to give her the food. Is anyone joining him?
No, I'm going to stay sitting in the corner reading.
How long does the lay on of hands take? Is it instant or does it take a while?
It's an action, so part of a 6-second effect. So you lay on hands and the job's done.
Okay. Well, in that case, Luth would like to join Fingers and go upstairs to see this girl.
Okay. Is that better, guys?
Yeah, much better. Yeah, so I heard what you said. It was just really bad. So, no, she doesn't shoot you. And you're able to head upstairs and attempt to locate the room that she's in.
Okay. I'll call out that I'm coming up the stairs. I've got a basket of goodies for her.
And there's 2 of us.
There's 2 of us. Shall I put it down out here, or can we come into you? Whereabouts are you?
Okay, she doesn't actually say anything, which is annoying.
Okay, well, keep that crossbow lowered. We're just moving around up here. You can hear us, and I kind of deliberately making noise as I go, so she's kind of aware of where we are, even if we don't know where she is.
Yep. Okay, so just randomly opening doors, trying to find her.
Yeah, I'm going to methodically sort of search upstairs along with Luth and see if we can see where she is.
Okay, so the first room you come to has a rather nice looking door on it. And there's a logo on the door that's almost the same as the sign that was hanging outside it. So you believe it belongs to the owner of the inn. And the door is unlocked.
Okay, so I'm just going to knock on it and say, Keller, are you in here?
No reply.
No answer, no reply. So just cautiously open the door, I guess.
So the door opens, and what you notice is the northeastern corner of the floor has been smashed through, as has the roof, as a rock has come clean through the roof.
They've made hell of a mess of this place, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll turn to Luth and say, I don't think the air conditioning is working in here properly.
What you do notice on the western wall is a very nice tapestry, and below it is a sturdy iron chest.
Okay.
Do I know if Fingers helped me recover?
As far as you're concerned, based on what Rav told you, he saved you.
Right. Okay. I won't check all my pockets and pouches then.
I'm always intrigued by a strong box. I'm going to go and have a bit more of a look at that, I think.
Okay. It has a built-in lock. It looks quite sturdy. If you have thieves' tools, you think you might be able to possibly get it open?
While he does this, Luth will position himself at the doorway so that he can see up the corridor.
Good shout.
I do
So-
have thieves' tools. So,
Yeah. Would you like to give it a go then?
Oh dear, 7.
Okay. You sit there flicking around trying to get the latch right, and as you rotate, your lock part of your thieves' tool snaps.
Oh, I'll just turn to Luff and I'll say, look, what it is this is a water deep lock. I'm not really familiar with water deep locks. I know Neverwinter locks. That's not a Neverwinter lock. It's a water deep lock. Just give me a minute.
Maybe it's not the sort of thing that you should be doing anyway.
Well, you know, God loves a try. You know about gods being a paladin.
Hmm.
Okay, so no, it's not gonna open.
Okay.
And other
Maybe
than
we
that,
can kick it.
there's nothing else in the room.
Oh, I hate to leave a box like that. It looks like it's got stuff in it.
Why don't you pick up that rock and drop it on the...
Have you seen the size of my arms? I don't think I can lift that rock. Why don't you push it down the hole and see if it smashes downstairs?
I guess it's going to be downstairs. We ought to warn people first.
Maybe. Let's find Keller. Maybe she's got a key for it. You never know.
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, okay.
So we'll venture up the corridor to the next room.
Okay, the next door has a very simple door. Nothing special to it.
Okay. So once again, I'll knock on the door and I'll... Keller, you in there?
No answer.
And yeah, cautiously enter the room.
Okay, you enter a empty, vacant room. It's got bed, couple of bedside tables, matching lamps. Nothing other than that.
Does this room escape destruction?
Yes, it is. It is undamaged.
Right. Oh well. We got somewhere to
Just
stay
check-
then.
I'll just check under the bed and then we'll move on to the next room if it's all clear.
It's a bit dusty under there, but it's empty.
Okay, onwards.
So, speeding things up a little bit. The next room is also empty, with no reply. As you knock, you get to the last room in the corridor.
Keller, we're outside.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
got your lunch.
Oh, hi,
I've
Fingers.
got your lunch here, look. Can we come in, give it to you?
She says, you come in slowly, because I've got my crossbow leveled at the door.
We'll do that. Just don't shoot us, all right?
Don't give me reason to.
So yeah, I'll slowly open the door and I'll walk in with a sort of a picnic out in front.
I'll follow
So-
in behind.
In the corner in the shadows, you spot a human. Dark hair, dark robes, tucked away in a room that again has been smashed through. which you know from the wreckage that's on the floor. There's no bed, there's no wardrobes. It's all now in the dining room.
Okay.
And she's got little bits and pieces dotted there. You recognize a snake tattoo on her arm. Other than that, she's carrying a light crossbow that she knows how to use.
What's her demeanor? Does she look scared or arrogant or confident or?
She definitely looks scared.
Right.
In fact, can you make an insight roll?
Tell me how I do that. That's just the insight skill. Yep.
The skill insight. Yep.
Okay. Oh, this is looking quite good. So I've rolled a 15. I've got a +1, and it's one of my skills. So that's a proficiency bonus as well.
Yeah.
That should have already been included in it, but
It hasn't. No. So that's an 18 altogether.
fantastic. No, she definitely looks scared.
Okay. Well, Luth will have his sword in its scabbard, and he will hold his hands out, showing that they're empty, and try to look as unthreatening as he can. And I think he can do that quite well, really. And look, Keller, this isn't a good place for you to be on your own. And
you see the crossbow shake a little bit.
yeah, you can put that down. You don't need it with us. We're not here to hurt you. Quite the contrary. We can make you safer, and you can join us, and we could do with somebody with a skill like you with a crossbow. You don't need to fight this battle on your own.
We just want to get out of here, same as you.
Yeah, I'll turn my back to her, not in a rude fashion, but just like to help Fingers open the sack, take some of the food out. But just the act of turning my back on her shows that, trying to show that I'm no threat.
Yeah. So as you turn around with the chicken from the sack, the crossbow's making its way to the floor, and her shoulders sag, and you get the impression that she's now been mentally defeated. Her guards are down. She's been looking after herself for a while now.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit down cross-legged on the floor, just so she can see I'm no threat, and I'm going to lower my voice. Just say, look, let's have a bit of food together. Let's just calm down a little bit and see what we can work out. And I'll pass her over the chicken, and I'll sort of gesture to Luth to sit down on the floor with us, so that we're all.
Yeah. So she walks over. She walks over, sits down with you, takes the chicken, and before she takes a bite, she looks at you and goes, "Is your friend okay?"
Yeah, we're kind of okay. We're all tired. We're all mostly a bit hurt, and I guess we're all a bit scared too. We weren't expecting to find this. So
at this point, can I shout upstairs and make sure that everybody's okay?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. You're in an area where they'd hear you through the hole in the floor anyway.
I'm just going to explain to Keller that there's 2 more in our party, and whether they could come and join us. They're no threat, or if she's not happy with that, they can just stay downstairs where they are.
Didn't you say at the moment she agrees to?
Yeah, I'm just a bit worried, Fingers, that we've got a load of goblins out there that could be scurrying around in the dark looking for us, and if we all sit upstairs eating, we're kind of making ourselves pretty vulnerable.
What's the nature of the hole in this room? Is it like just straight down through the top of the roof, or does it give us a vantage outside?
No, through the roof, through the floor.
No windows or anything.
Not in this room. Okay, as you're eating, not Tamon, because you're too deep into your book.
I am.
Rav,
Yes.
you hear like long-nailed footprints on the wood outside the inn.
Do I scratch him?
It's like they're walking on the veranda.
I'll make my way towards the door because there's a window next to it, I believe, isn't there? Or a window.
There's part of a window after the ray of frost went through it.
I'll quietly and stealthily sort of make my way towards it and see if I can see outside anything.
Okay. You can hear footprints. There's definitely footsteps outside. And you hear more of the yipping yapping that you growing to know is goblin chatter.
Can I see Tamarin from where I am?
You can, but he's now at the other side of the inn. So to try and speak to him,
I don't need to speak to him. I just need to be able to see him.
you can see him, and yes, I know what's coming.
Oh no.
No, it's nothing.
Message.
Yes, I can communicate to you, Tamarin, directly inside of your head. So I am literally the voice inside your head telling you to do something.
Okay.
It's not specifically in words. It's just you know what I mean. But I'm telling you that there is something outside and that you need to go upstairs and get the others.
Okay.
Quietly.
I'm going to. I'm sat there reading my book. I'm going to go. And I'll close. Eventually, decide that it's not just in my head, and I'll close it, and I will do what I've been instructed to do.
Okay. So you head upstairs and you find a hallway of 5 doors that are open.
Yep.
But right at the end of the corridor, you spot figures sat down on the floor.
Okay.
As you make your way down the corridor, Rav, the door slowly inches open.
Am I on the opening side of it or the hinge side of it?
No, you can be the hinge side of it, so you are behind the door as it's opening.
Okay, I will crouch down so that we can't see directly where I am.
Okay. So the door swings open.
What do I see in front of me?
A door.
Okay. I'll just wait and see what happens. I can't see anything other than the door. I've already sent Tamarin upstairs to go and get the others.
Yep. So, Taman, you're making your way towards the room.
Yep.
And as you do so, you enter the room. And you find Fingers, Luth, and Keller sat on the floor chewing on chicken.
Okay. I'm just gonna go. Well, thank you for calling me. I'd rather, have come up here and had food instead of read my book. But you know what? No worries. I'm gonna sit down rather affronted.
Okay. As you
Did you not hear us?
Sorry.
Did you not hear us?
Sorry, guys. As you talk to them, okay. 2, 3. 3 arrows embed themselves in the ceiling.
Like, how close did they come to me?
Very close.
Okay.
And as you look down, you spot 4 goblins in the dining hall.
Okay.
I look at Keller and say, decide, are you with us?
She doesn't even look at you. She turns around, fires a bolt, and takes one goblin straight through the neck. Hits the floor.
She's with
Oh,
us.
that's my girl.
I'm going to turn to everybody else and go, who's this? I like her.
Rav,
Yes.
as it stands at the moment, you hear a twang of a short bow. Okay, of numerous short bows. Then you hear the distinct thud of that crossbow again, the one that struck you before, so you know that sound. And then you hear a goblin hit the floor. You know it's a goblin.
Okay.
So you know it's kicked off, and you're now hidden behind a door. So they don't know you're there.
How far away are they?
10 feet.
I am going to stand up, and I'm going to use my breath weapon. I'm going to just spit cold at them.
Nice.
That is 15-foot cold cone. Difficulty of 12. 2d6. The cones automatically hit, or do I have to roll to hit as well?
No. So you're silver. So it is a con save.
Yeah. On a fail, you take half damage.
No, on a pass they take half. On a fail they take full.
Sorry, yeah. From my perspective, it's a fail.
Yep.
Do you want to? I'll do damage now. Ooh, 8.
Okay, so con save on that. Fail, pass, fail.
Nice.
So, 2 of them sort of go absolutely stiff and just drop, hitting the floor. The other one looks rough, and I mean really, really rough. But he's still standing. He is still standing. Nothing fingers. Anything you're gonna do?
Yeah, is there
go into initiative?
This is a bedroom, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So is there a mattress on the bed?
No, the mattress is in the dining room.
Right. That's below us.
Yeah.
So it's feasible to leap through the hole in the ceiling onto the mattress?
It's going to be about a 15-foot drop.
Onto a mattress, though.
Which would be, I would say, that still constitutes a D10. Sorry, a D6 for 10 feet. And I'd halve that because you landed on the mattress.
I'll do that.
Okay. So you jump down.
Yeah. Land
on the mattress. The impact jars you. So you take 2 points of damage.
That's going to surprise them a little bit, though, I suspect. Well, I don't mean surprise in the mechanic sense, but
shock.
You don't usually get people leaping through the ceiling, do you?
No, not at all. So now you've landed next to him. He's just been blasted by this cold that seems to have come from nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I take it you're just going to chop at him with your sword.
I'd like to do that. Yes, please.
Give it a go. Give it a go.
12.
12 is a miss. Absolute miss. Sorry. Fingers. Are you going to let Keller show you how it's done, or are you going to teach her a thing or two about ranged weapons?
I think your mic's muted.
I think so too.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, so I'm going to kneel down next to Keller. I'm going to say, good shooting, girl. My turn. And going to have a crack with my short bow. And that is 13 to hit.
13 is a miss.
Oh,
you hear her snigger and go, maybe a little man needs a bigger bow.
Stick around and find out.
Okay, so Hammond.
Yes.
These arrows went very close to you.
Okay, I'm just gonna try Ray of Frost at them.
Yep. Add to the cold. Add to the cold.
Why not? I finally do something useful. I rolled a 19 plus 5, so 24.
24 is a good hit, sir. Well done.
Thank you very much. Now, hang on. I've got to remember what Ray of Frost does now. This is fun. I didn't expect to hit, so I didn't bother looking. It is 1d8 cold damage. So where's my
It slows them as well, I believe.
It does.
By 10 feet, yes.
It does 3.
Okay. He falls like a statue. Deaded.
Yes. Good. That's it. That's all I'll do.
So, you notice 2 of these goblins are the ones from the farm.
Do I?
You do.
I have this sudden urge to just fire off frost rays at them, every single one of them, just because I don't like them.
I wouldn't. You might miss.
Yeah, that's my point.
And you can speculate that the other 2 are the ones from the windmill, but you're not entirely sure.
Right, okay. I will keep that to myself for a moment.
Okay, fantastic.
Is that all of them frozen now?
That's all of them dead.
Oh, good. At this point, I'll walk out into the middle of the room and look up at Tamon and go, "Thanks for bringing the reinforcements downstairs."
Can you roll for sarcasm?
Is that plus charisma and proficiency?
Oh, double proficiency for that.
23.
Ah, you're sarcased.
Wow.
Okay, so I think we're at the point probably where it's probably best to call it for a day. I don't want to drag too far further into the town because it will start dragging on to other bits and pieces and sequence of events that occur. So I am going to say thank you very much for anyone who has been watching, if you have been. For anyone who does watch this, you're crazy, but thank you very much. Subscribe to the channel. This will be going on sort of once a month. We'll give you an announcement when the next one is. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I really did. And what I'm going to do is give each of the guys a chance to say goodbye and just say a couple of words if they want to. So, Craig.
Thank you very much for having us. It's been an interesting and eventful campaign. I have definitely missed playing D&D.
Excellent. Ollie.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for having us, and look forward to some more adventures in the future.
Excellent. Royston.
Well, yeah, I can only thank you for letting me join in this game. It's my first ever 5th edition game, and it's got off to a great start for me. And I can tell you this, Luth is mightily impressed with the guys around him at the moment, especially the wizard with his magic missiles and frost rays and things.
When I actually hit.
Yeah.
Well, let's not forget the Dragon Ball, his magic hole-making healing skills.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
no,
that.
he feels like he's in good company here. So, yeah, looking forward to the next session.
Excellent. And lastly, and again, but not least, Dave.
Do you mind if I do a cheeky plug for my channel?
Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Oh, I'm just knocking my microphone everywhere. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's the first time I've actually been able to play in a game of D&D for about 12 months, as I've been running them mostly, and I run mostly Call of Cthulhu at the minute. So it's been nice to get back into some high fantasy.
You done any Cthulhu Dark?
No, I haven't. I've focused mostly on the. I've been playing
Murder on the Orient Express.
I've just started a campaign with a group of Horror on the Orient Express. That's fun. That's going to take us about a year or so to complete because it's a huge campaign. But I do intend to. Yeah, I've done Darklight and stuff like that. So Cthulhu is my pet pig at the minute. But I have just started my own YouTube channel, and it's Trekkie D. How my name has appeared on Google Hangouts, which is Trekkie-D. Which I do video games, board games, role-playing games. There's like one video on there at the minute, but that's because I work all the time, so I can't post as much as I want to. But yeah, but thank you very much for running it. It's been thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been nice to play for a change instead of running one.
Fantastic. Right. And I'm going to end it there, and we'll see you hopefully in about a month's time.
Cool. See you soon.